Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. My presentation is going to be over what it means to be a QB, going over the ins and outs of offensive schemes and then reading defensive schemes as well. Let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, let me go ahead and get introductions of everybody. Starting with my man right here.
Hi, I'm Pat Woods.
Michael Good. Andrew Giles.
And the pretty much outline of our presentation is we're going to do what does a quarterback mean, simple QB mechanics, pre-snap reads, some kind of tactics on avoiding sacks, film, and then at the very end, just a little summary of success. That's all. All right, defining a QB. The dictionary.com, of course, defines it as a player positioned behind the center who directs the team's offensive play. Like I said, that's just dictionary.com defining it. Obviously, as a football player, we all know that it really has a deeper meaning to it. Taking a step further to knowing the depth of this position is the key. Some will know this is their true calling, others will figure it out on time. But ultimately, I want to motivate you guys physically and mentally in a positive manner for this position. And obviously, quarterback reflects what you do off the field, reflects what you do on the field as well. So that's just kind of the responsibility of being a quarterback. All right, so simple QB mechanics, having a good grip on the football. Everybody has their own preference on how to grip a ball, but I like to take my middle finger and put it on the white part of the football, and then take my ring finger, either put it in between the first thread, if you can see that, and then or the second thread, and my pinky just kind of should rest, and then my index finger here is in between the white and the end point of the football. Get a nice little grip to it. Before I move on to throwing, Patrick, do you mind showing me just how do you grip the ball with?
Yeah. You can stand up or not?
You sit there and stuff like that.
I'm pretty much the same way. However, I like to have my index finger on the white and everything shifted down from like what he is. Maybe the hand size preference may be a difference, but that's just pretty much the way I like to throw the ball.
Okay. So cool. All right, appreciate it. All right. Next, we're gonna talk about having a good throwing posture. Obviously, as a QB, you're not just gonna be handing the ball off all the time. 80% of what you will be doing is throwing the ball. So, Mike, if you don't mind, you can get up and show me how you throw the ball.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Quick.
All right. Now, one more time for me, and have it pause up here. All right. So, you guys already don't know the ball has to be good high point. You want a 90-degree angle on the arm. Always when you're throwing, even when you're throwing catch backyard or throwing in the real game, eyes must be always forward and his feet as well. So appreciate it, Mike. Did a good job there. All right, just a little tip. Quarterbacks always have strong hands because, of course, defense is always going for you, swatting the ball down. So good hand exercises can always help with that.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, so pre-snap reads on a quarterback. As far as quarterback concerns, there's offensive and defensive formation that we have to learn. As far as offense concerned, there's ISO, shotgun, wishbone, pistol, single back, and then wildcat. Of course, wildcat is just the running back in the backfield, and 98% of the time he's running the ball, he's not passing it. And then we also have to recognize defensive formation. So we have 3-4, 4-3, cover 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then blitz packages. Drew, just out of randomness, what's your favorite offensive formation out of this right here? Or if you think of something else that's not on the list.
ISO.
ISO? Can you give me like 7 words of why?
Because you can really pound the ball, you can run the ball good. I would say that'd be one of the best formations to run the ball from.
Okay, cool. Good.
Is it? You know, ISO.
So first off, this is I formation, one of the most simplest and basic formation there is when it comes to the sport of football. Um, you know, you have your classic tight end, two wide receivers, fullback and a running back. A lot of college football now these days are not using the fullback as much, but in the NFL there is still the main purpose of the running. A fullback is for running only. You know, he'll go out for some passes, but not often. So, yeah. All right, shotgun. This is predominantly more passing formation we have. We have three wide receivers and a tight end. Quarterback is always going to be 5 yards off the ball. Halfback or running back will mostly be at 4 yards. Easier to get the ball off if you are running. Kind of one of those things where you can always be versatile with this formation. You got the trips to the left, trips to the right. Take the tight end off and get you a slot receiver right there. Most basic kind of form of passing formation. All right, wishbone. Wishbone is not common nowadays. It started around came out in the 1970s, early 70s. It's when it made its big debut. I believe the only school that I've seen do it is Georgia Tech. So they seem kind of successful with it, but at times they're really not. This is more predominantly run formation. You know, as a quarterback, you can pass, but this is more for the running backs and these three and your fullback. You can run a lot of toss passes, maybe a read option, but not in this formation. So if you want to run the ball, you want to do something crazy, wishbone is that formation for you. All right, pistol is the in-between between a ISO and shotgun. It does give you the availability to be 3 yards off the ball. You got a halfback, it heels at 5. You have 3 wide receivers and a tight end, which can be substituted for another slot receiver. This formation sometimes can be used as read option, where the quarterback is reading defensive ends coming off the edge, and you know if he comes in, quarterback keeps it. If he waits, he'll hand off to the running back. So pistol is kind of one of those balance formations that can be in between ISO and shotgun. All right, single back. We've all played Madden before. We've all seen a single back formation at the top of each playbook, offensive playbook. You don't need a fullback, of course, in this one. You still get your tight end, 3 wide receivers. You can kind of this is where teams like New England will use this formation a lot. They'll have 2 tight ends and pretty much pass from the tight end aspect and use wide receivers as secondary and third outlets. No fullback, of course. So the running back, if he runs, he's either on his own or he's got a pulling guard. But kind of a balanced offensive formation. Alright, so defense concerns of a 3-4 defense. I didn't like to put logos in here. But the Bears is a really good example of a defense back in the day when Coach Ditka was playing. They really liked this defense a lot. You have 3 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. What this defense does is protect the pass. That's its main purpose. Nose tackles are pretty much in this formation big guys, big heavy guys such as Vince Wilfork. Not really made for breaking through offensive linemen making tackles, but clogging stuff up. So then our linebackers here are pretty much your very athletic defensive ends. Pretty much they can cover in this formation a lot better than any other defense. A lot faster, if anything. Your middle linebacker may not be the actual dynamic middle linebacker that we see a lot in today's football, but can still play it. Right here is the exact opposite, where 4-3 is your traditional defense, 4D linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 safeties, and 2 corners. This is more of a run stop defense. Have your traditional linebacker here. He's a really big, stocky guy. Can still move as fast as these 3, but not as limber as a 3-4 linebacker maybe. So yeah, pretty much a lot of these 4-3 is heavy in zone and less man. That is something that in 3-4 they do a little more man in 4-3s. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna go over cover 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is cover 1. Noticeably, cover 1 is when you see just one high safety, which is either the free safety or they will sometimes have the strong safety on top. A lot of times, strong safety normally up here, just because of he's not more of a man guy. He's more of a zone technique, hard hitter, and your free safety is better at man than the strong safety. Especially covering these slots right here. So as a quarterback, if you see this is more of man-on-man coverage, and your receiver's better than their defender, then that's touchdown about 75, let's say 80% of the time. All right, cover 2, we have, this is pretty much the first, or cover 2 is a zone coverage. After cover 1, of course, cover 1 is more man. Cover 2, you have zones that each position has. And between these zones, you can use different route trees. So as a tight ends here, you can use different seam routes. You can do out routes, you can do slant routes. You can always do a deep route as well. Always, just depending on who those safeties are. Cover 3, kind of the same as cover 2, as far as linebackers are still, actually Will and Sam linebackers are more deep in the thirds area, curl to flat area, as corners are more flat and up, deep thirds. So yeah, seams really work in this cover, a lot of posts as well. Cover 4 is the furthest or the most deep coverage there is. They're more worried about 10 plus yards deep, and not worried about the 5 to 7 yards. So a lot of your curls, hitches, slants, outs and ends will work against this coverage. Just different blitz packages here. As a quarterback, you got to realize that not everybody's gonna be in the zone coverage. A lot of times they will come get you. So if you can notice it, a lot of times if safeties start cheating up linebackers, or instead of 5 yards up, they're 2-3 yards near the line of scrimmage, they're either blitzing. Sometimes they do show different ways of disguising it. But a lot of times they will blitz for about 80% of the time. Alright, last but not least, just a summary of a QB. He'd be physical, accurate, competitive, and poised. We all have been through game situations where we were winning or losing or trying to come back from a deficit, or trying to keep a lead. And the game can always change, as we've all been a part of that. So always as a quarterback, just keep your poise, be competitive, be physical, and focus on accuracy. We all want to play QB. We all want the glory. But if we're not willing to put in the work that's not shown, then we're not worthy of it at all. So that's my little quote. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good day.